fans, Raptor here, and welcome back to Broken Arrow for a second mission of the campaign. Tensions escalate rapidly between NATO and Russia after we shot down one of their drones in the previous mission. That one was showtime, and this one will show the Russians not to mess with us anymore. Good to see you all back, and thank you very much for joining and subscribing to the channel for Peacekeeper, the next mission in the campaign. After this one, it'll open up to several new missions for both the United States and Russia. It's a campaign that after the first two missions, you can play any of these other locations. So I'd like to know from you down below where you think we should go or what you'd like to see. Tanks, naval landing, helicopters, aircraft. Well, those would be the main themes, but right now the main theme here is to fight desperately to try to defend Lithuania against invasion with American strikers and troops that are very under, well, I wouldn't say supplied, but very few in numbers, and but they're going to fight with heart to defend Lithuania. Lithuanians will be here as well, and I hope to see more factions in the future of this game. So let's begin. Here we go.
The Lithuanian government denounced a violation of its airspace and closed its frontier with Belarus and Russia.
The unknown object that was shot down during the exercise turned out to be a Russian drone. The official line is that it was shot down to prevent an air collision with our jets training nearby. But the Russians refused to go along with that story and maintained that it was flying on their side of the border.
But it was flying on the wrong side of the border, right?
Well, it was hit in the Lithuanian airspace, but ended up a few meters on the other side of the frontier. So, as you can imagine, they jumped on the occasion to create their own narrative. In any case, the Lithuanian government has closed their borders with Belarus and Kaliningrad until the end of the investigations. As a response, the Russians have placed all their troops at the border on high alert and sent a quote-unquote military convoy carrying humanitarian aid to Kaliningrad. They are approaching the town of Lazdishe as we speak.
And nobody thought about stopping them?
It's a tricky situation. The Lithuanians cannot block humanitarian convoys without breaking international treaties.
Humanitarian my ass. We can't let that happen. The so-called humanitarian convoy is like spitting in our face. Williams, what are our units in the area?
A striker company from 2nd Cav is training nearby. If they move it once, they should be able to intercept the convoy before it reaches the city of Lazdishe.
This isn't much, but it'll have to do. Dispatch them immediately.
General, don't you see what's happening? The drone, the convoy, half the Russian army are on high alert on the other side of the frontier. This whole situation could very well be a false flag operation. If you rush into this convoy with blazing guns, this would certainly give them a justification for a strong military response.
They wouldn't dare. They're only testing our resolve. So we'll put ourselves in their way, make a show of force, and watch them go crawl back under their rock.
And what will you do if they don't stop?
The city of Lazdishe is a vital crossroad to reinforce Lithuania. If they take control of it, we have no way to defend Vilnius in case of invasion. We cannot take the risk to let that happen.
Sir, Striker Company responded. They are already in sight of Lazdishe and are awaiting orders.
Thank you, Major. Let's go, Commander. We have a lot on our plate.
You got it. Primary objectives: spook out the enemy convoy, do not fire unless fired upon, and improvise. Cool. Another thing I like too is that the game allows you to change your difficulty per mission, but I do believe some of you were pointing out that at this current point in time in the actual version that we're playing, which is just a few days after the initial launch into the Vanguard Advanced Edition on Steam, the game does not allow us to get saves. So if you're in a big operation and have to leave, or I don't know, if you are in a difficult spot and want to save before it and keep failing the mission, apparently you have to restart, which is a little annoying, but hopefully we don't encounter that today and we'll go forward in stride. All right, let's go ahead and check out here. We've got a little explanation as to what some of these weapon systems are, and some information about the supply trucks and weapons that we'll see, like the Javelin and Bushmaster and the M68A1, which is armed there with a little big old cannon. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the mission and defend against invasion. Let's go. Outstanding intros,
The
really
convoy has been
good.
spotted a few miles down this highway, sir.
No time to lose then. This crossroad is the last position where we can stop them before they reach the city. Send your troops there immediately, Commander.
Boy, spawning us a way far away distance from there. What do we got? Okay, javelins, ATGMs. We're going to go with the AGSs here and call them up. And we're going to go to this crossroads, which is very important for us to hold.
Moving there now. Roger. Moving in
Striker
The convoy is
ATGMs,
approaching.
also good.
We're tracking its position with a drone.
Hurry up! Capture the crossroad before they reach it.
Copy.
Remember, this is officially a humanitarian convoy, and unless proven otherwise, it must be considered as such. Act with extreme caution here, General.
Yeah, of course. Commander, make sure our troops are instructed to hold their fire and engage only if fired upon.
Here comes those trucks. Okay, we're going to hold fire then and not let our units fire unless fired upon. We got to make sure we do not engage the potential threat until they reveal themselves to be one.
Striker here.
We are holding the crossroad, General. They are approaching rapidly. Maybe they didn't see us. Shall we fire a warning shot?
Negative! Hold your fire and stay in the middle of the road. Show them we're here, and they'll back off.
Roger. We're on the move.
Imagine seeing this. You look out your window and you just see these forces start to square off. Crazy.
It looks like they're hesitating.
I guess they weren't expecting us. Come on, now is the moment of truth. Either they go back or they try to pass in force.
Look, they're moving back.
Oh, good.
Thank God we won't have a war on our hands today. Congratulations, General. I have to admit, I didn't think it would be that easy.
No, wait. They turn left. What are they doing?
They're trying another approach to bypass us. Commander, redeploy your troops on these crossroads. Show them we're not here by accident. Don't forget to call reinforcements. We'll need all the help we can get to cover all these crossing points.
Moving in next waypoint.
Roger that. We got artillery strikers at our disposal, javelin strikers, some troopers, and recon as well, which would be great, but a little expensive. Let's get more units out on the field, though. We want numbers.
First crossroad secured.
Roger. We're on the move. Roger. Moving in next waypoint. Fighting vehicle is combat ready, sir. Combat vehicle at your command, sir.
They've stopped again. Second crossroad
Good
secured,
copy.
sir.
Next waypoint received.
Enemy soldiers have dismounted from the trucks and started moving in our direction.
That's not
We
good.
got positive identification of weapons. I repeat, PID of weapons.
They're engaging,
Hold
and they're
your
invading.
fire. This is a game of chicken. Whoever shoots first takes the blame.
And whoever gets shot first dies. Williams, drop a bomb on the road in front of them as a warning. We must
Good
show
copy.
where our red line
Waypoint
stands.
received. Roger. We're Oscar Mike. ATGM carrier.
They're gonna start shooting.
Combat.
They're shooting.
Combat vehicle standing
It's
by.
on. Engage.
Weapons
Our
free.
drone has been shut down.
Striker reporting in.
It's clear they're not coming to shake hands. You're authorized to engage, Commander.
Striker here.
Armed
Combat
vehicles are
ready.
detaching from the bulk of the convoy. They're moving up in our direction. Prepare for an assault.
Pushing forward.
Establish defensive positions in the buildings near the crossroads on our flank, Commander. And make sure our troops are resupplied. If one of these positions is overwhelmed, fall back on the main crossroad and hunker down there. I scrambled jets to provide fire support, but they won't be there before 30 minutes. Your orders are simple.
30
Hold at all
minutes?
costs until they arrive.
That's insane.
Your men will never hold that long. Give me a minute. We have a pair of AC-130 gunships in the area.
That's better.
I will demand they be rerouted in your direction.
Already there.
We? Who are you actually working with now, Miller?
Just use the planes and don't ask questions. They will be there in about 10 minutes.
Beautiful. That's better.
Striker here. Go ahead. Moving out.
Okay, we got to hold until the AC-130s arrive. and hold the secondary crossroads and pump in more reinforcements. Artillery would be great here, but we got to get more units on the ground to continuously keep firing. Got to keep them guns firing. That's what we got to do.
Moving there now. Striker, ready for action. Roger, we're Oscar Mike. Pedal to the metal. Roger, moving out.
Okay, we're going to litter the tree line there with units.
Striker awaiting orders.
A little more narrow on this side.
Copy. Relocating.
Okay, we have a little bit of breathing room to get something delivered.
ATGM carrier, engage. Send your orders.
Infantry getting hit.
Let's back out.
I don't know if we'll have enough time for supply, but let's go ahead and hope that we can call supply back here if and when the time comes.
Striker here. We're combat ready. Moving out.
Looks like 2 units there were destroyed. ATGM away on those trucks. Look like ZU-23s. Basically a truck with a AA gun mounted on the back of it. Very simple.
Pedal to the metal. Striker reporting in.
And try to send these units here to the left side. Middle crossroads holding nicely.
Striker ready for combat.
Guys out of missiles for the most part. Not completely. Well, they're hitting the ground. He missed with the missile. No surprise there. He's gonna run out of ammo from hitting the dirt.
Troop transport reporting in. Striker here. Go ahead.
All right, their attacks are gonna intensify.
Logi here.
There's our truck and MTV with some supply.
Ready to transport.
We'll be able to go back there and repair our vehicles or replenish our lost soldiers.
Vehicle status is red.
Or get more ammo.
Smoke.
That vehicle's been hit.
Hit it.
We're gonna fall back that way. Need more recon here.
Armored transport reporting in.
Uh-oh. A PTRK ATGM. We have some ground-based scouts too, infantry scouts, but all right, we're gonna try to not take any losses this time. I don't think it'll happen. We more than likely will. I'm gonna need a lot more practice, but we're gonna try to
Be
maintain
advised, Commander. A second wave of vehicles has
Minimal
forced the
casualties.
border and is approaching on the highway. They're accompanied by self-propelled howitzers this time.
Oh damn, they're gonna hit us with artillery.
Static defenses will be hammered by their artillery, so use the mobility of the strikers to avoid their fire.
ATGM carrier standing by. Armored transport reporting in. Someone call for a cab.
They're gonna hit us good if they see us.
Fighting vehicle ready for combat. Striker at your command, sir.
Here comes the artillery.
Armored transport standing by. Striker engaged in combat.
There's their location here next to this house. Enemy ATGMs.
Striker under fire. Requesting orders.
Get away from that.
Backwards. Personal carrier here. Driver backwards.
Oh, that group is panicked. Good.
Fighting vehicle at your command, sir. Smoke screen. Vehicle status red. Situation's high. Troop transport taking fire. What are you waiting for?
Trying to get those guys rearmed, resupplied, and repaired.
Carrier ready. Already there. Troop transport ready.
Lots of enemy infantry,
Striker in combat.
enemy transports.
Driver, move back. Keep driving.
Now, another great way to play this game is to also slow down the time when it comes to the actual gameplay speed, so you have more time to give orders, which would be a little bit more realistic that way too.
A handful of Lithuanian units have arrived, and will hold the outskirts of the town on our left. Fall back on the main crossroad and hunker down there to receive the main Russian assault.
Okay, they're giving us orders to retreat.
Their artillery fires volley after volley without repositioning. Sadly, our mortars lack the range to provide counter battery without exposing themselves.
They're just asking to be beaten. Williams, contact the Lithuanian artillery battery that was training with the strikers. Those PCH 2000s will come in handy.
At once, sir.
Solid copy. Advance and report. Personal carrier ready.
Going down that road's a little bit of a challenge there. I believe one of those vehicles was knocked out. We're gonna go down this way. Actually, we're just gonna fast travel here and then make an order to return.
Sir, the Lithuanian artillery responded. One of their platoons is already on its way. You can call it as reinforcement, Commander.
Okay, we have access to artillery.
It's getting dire here, Miller. One of those planes coming.
Almost there. Just hold on a few more minutes.
I'm gonna start with 2 of these for the Lithuanians. Lithuanians are gonna help us. Glad they're here. We're burning through supply. They're coming from that left flank, and they're going to probably hit us with the artillery shortly, especially at our resupply point. Glad that the Lithuanians speak perfect English with an American accent. Actually, let's go ahead and hit the areas in which their troops are attacking from. Actually, we're being tasked with destroying that artillery position. Let's try to do that. We're gonna pull back a little bit. Well, a lot of our vehicles there are just out of ammo. Pull everybody back here. Okay, artillery is going to hit those positions. Hopefully that gives us an easier time. We're going to try to very quickly get all the munitions that we can. The Lithuanian's going to buy us time on that left flank. And our artillery's popping off too. We're going to get 2 more units to slow down that main force. Lithuanians are getting hit hard. Okay, they are popping that artillery. All right, get back on the line, boys. Make sure they don't get through. Put these 2 on the same channel. I don't think we destroyed that artillery position yet. Wow, look at the ATGMs on both sides. Insanity. Oh, wow. Great artillery hits.
Sounds like their guns have been silenced at last.
Hit those roads. Lots of BMP-1s. Okay, yeah, we do need supply. Accidentally called out a truck there without supply. Now, that does happen sometimes. One of the complaints I have is that it clips through, but it doesn't matter. AC-130s are here.
Proceeding is frag. AC gunship waiting target. New course set.
Let them have it, boys.
Hey, check out this rooster cruiser they gave me.
All right, let's have these artillery pieces back up. Actually, put them all on one channel. So those forces about to come in. All right, Ghost Riders doing what they need to. Wow. I push out with whatever supply we may have left. Okay. There we go. We're good. Let's fall some of our units back. Yeah, same with us.
Like they've had enough for today.
That was a close shave. The Striker Brigade is in poor shape and needs to be withdrawn. But they
are.
bought us precious time to organize our next move. Congratulations, Commander.
No time for congratulations. Reports indicate Russian penetrations in all the main axes leading to the 3 capital cities of the Baltic states.
Full-scale invasion.
So there you have it, General. Your long-awaited war.
Cargo truck ready.
All right, let's get those strikers repaired. Minimal losses there. Definitely not 0, and maybe just a couple ahead of that, but not bad. Not bad at all. And so yeah, the main gold medal missions are to finish the objective on hard difficulty and not to, you know, lose a single unit. That's going to be a doozy. But we did the main and the secondaries, and that's what I care about most. All right, on to our next mission then. So I want to know from you down below in the comment section what you think we should play. Previously here on the channel during some of the betas, you may have seen the the airbase mission here known as Airbase Heist. We also have, I think, a mission that was featured at the very beginning, Marines invading Kaliningrad and then starting to basically try to capture parts of that city, and then Tracked and Furious, which is another great one that we may have seen before going down the highway. Also the Blackout mission, taking over a nuclear power plant, and then Papers, Please. But before we get started with that, there is a cutscene that we can see. Well, this is it. Let's go ahead and watch the beginning of the war. Here we go.
Russian troops are pouring into the Baltic states through every checkpoint from Narva in the north to Vilnius in the south.
The Russians have threatened Europe with the use of nuclear weapons if they dare to get involved. The threat was effective. We've been left to fend for ourselves.
We won't be able to prevent the invasion of Estonia and Latvia, and could quickly end up bogged down in a long and exhausting war of attrition in Lithuania. We're far from home and on our own. Our expeditionary units can hit hard and fast, but will rapidly lose effectiveness.
Then our best chance is to seize a bargaining chip to negotiate with.
And what do you propose?
We take Kaliningrad.
I like it. We have enough forces in Poland and in the Baltic Sea to take the city and even the entire Oblast if things go well. I will prepare attack plans on strategic targets around the city.
Crazy. Now, I think it's more likely for the Americans to launch an air attack first and taking that air base as a part of that, then Marines, and then finally tanks, similar to what he keeps referencing with Baghdad 91, an air campaign, and then eventually ground forces with a little bit of naval in there. I think a battleship was involved in Desert Storm, right? Anyway, thank you very much for subbing to the channel. Hit that like button and let me know what you want to see next. But also, as a bonus, next time we'll take a look at the beginning of the Russian campaign. They have their own cutscene, and so it'll be pretty cool to see what they have in store. Perhaps it'll be interesting to see the invading forces, as they more than likely have an advantage, always ready, and the Americans out of nowhere are going to have to invade Kaliningrad, which doesn't seem like something they would do. But anyway, that's all for now. See you next time. Bye.